What's up, everybody? This is Kobocop Customs. Thanks for coming again to my channel to watch a video. Again, I'm going to keep my videos as simple as possible, no jump cuts, not too much editing. So if you have a short attention span, I'll do my best to keep you entertained. This is my Eddie Brock Venom custom. He features holes in his hands for holding a custom web accessory, added articulation in his hips, 2 swappable heads, added sculpt on the back, on his huge back, and extra paint on his spider. The heads are repainted completely. This was a Marvel Select Venom head. This was a Spider-Man Classics head from Hasbro in, I think, 2008. And this is a handmade accessory, sculpted from scratch. And I'll get to that in a minute. Let's go ahead and start with talking about his articulation, I guess. Okay, so his hips have been modified. They're originally, the Scorpion Venom body had like these flat, like diaper looking hips. It was just like a flat line here, and he couldn't really move his legs much, so I dremeled them out, sanded them down, and then just painted black over that, and then later the gloss. So that allows him to get down into big crouching poses, which you need Venom to do really nicely. And the thing with this neck is that he could look up really well with this, the combination of this head with this body, as he can really get into some deep crouching and look straight forward, which is great. He can almost get to a complete crawling position. Let me see if I could do that real quick on camera for you. Yeah, something like that, which is awesome. So the back originally came with a big scorpion tail on this body, and that leaves a big hole in the back. I don't know if you've ever seen that figure. You have it. There's a big hole in the back when the scorpion tail's not on there, so I sculpted it in, repainted the spider, and went over these lines, and oh my god, those lines were paint. The reason why I had to paint those lines is because I have a acrylic paint marker, acrylic paint pen rather, to do lining. What I found out was that if you put Pledge floor care cleaner on top of Posca paint pen, it will completely dissolve it, like within 2 seconds, 3 seconds, it's gone. It completely gets dissolved. So, oh man. So I did the lining on this accessory piece, and then I went over it with a paint pen. It got destroyed, and I had to start over. I did that about 4 times. Well, I didn't do the same thing 4 times, but later when I figured out that I was going to put the lining on top of the Pledge floor care cleaner, floor care finish. Did I say cleaner? No, it's floor care finish, Pledge floor care finish. I put it on top, and then if I had to correct the lining, if I didn't get it right the first time, I had to rub it with like a little bit of alcohol in a tiny little swab, and if I rub it too much, I take off the gloss, and if I make too many mistakes or rub it too much, I have to redo the whole thing, redo the gloss, start over. With this, it was with the paint, the gloss, the lining, everything I had to get started over. I did that about 4 times on this before I just decided to let it stay like that. So that's why it's not the best lining that I can do. I know I could do better lining than this, but it works. The Hasbro lining is already janky looking as it get, you know, as it is. They have very thin lining. This is the Hasbro lining here, and on the back it's thicker to match up with the accessory. So there's that. The head. Let me talk about the head. On the original Spider-Man Classics head, this head is not articulated. It's just glued to the figure, and there's, I don't remember because I did this custom maybe 5 months ago or more. There's a button on the back of the figure. There's a big huge button, and when you push it really really hard, the jaw moves about like that much. So it was a really dumb feature. Anyways, this tongue is connected to this peg in the middle. It's all one piece. It's a hard plastic, and I drilled out this hole in the middle of the hard plastic to fit with this peg, and then I added some sculpting to make it nice and snug and stay on there around the edges, you know. This head is repainted. I made the lines around the sides of the eyes more like the design he has in the comic books, which is kind of, I don't know how to describe it, kind of like flaming or something. Like it looks like his eyes are on fire. So I did that with this. Everything's repainted here. The tongue, the added gloss there. You know, it's pretty nice. I use Citadel paints for that. That's Citadel red. I forgot the name of the red, but Citadel has a really good red. This head, as you can see, the peg there is green. That's because I put sculpting on it and then smoothed it out to make it fit the size. You know, I matched up the joint. So put that back on. Okay. So, geez, I said I was going to talk about articulation, and I didn't show you the rest of it. But, well, I think you could watch a video review of the Scorpion Venom and get an idea of what the articulation is like. I don't have to show you too much, but he articulates enough for an Eddie Brock Venom. You can, he's a heavy figure. You could still get him into some good poses with one of those figure stands. I've done it before. It's tricky, but he does work with those. So let me go ahead and get to the rest. Oh, also I put a little more blue. You can barely see it in the picture, but I put a little more blue on the rest of his arms. You could barely see it. After I put the gloss on, it kind of was not too hard to see, but there's some on his legs there. The back piece goes right on his back, snug like this. Let me see. There we go. Jeez. Maybe I should have started the video like this, right? Well, I just found my Instagram video. I'm just gonna have him stand like this and spin it around. So, if you came here from Instagram, thanks. Appreciate it. Make sure to like my post, subscribe, and all that stuff. So this one, I started with packaging wire. Oh my god, did I just break it? Eee. Okay. It's saved for now. Okay. So I made this with Plastiloca, and what I'm going to tell you is when you're making Plastiloca stuff, it is brittle. It is stronger than Ave's sculpt, but it still is brittle when you're going to make tendrils like this. Because what happened was I made several more tendrils on this piece. They ended up breaking off. You got to put them on some kind of wire or something. You can't just sculpt with only the clay. You have to put them on a wire. But the base piece and these big tendrils out here, the big ones that you see in the middle, they all have base wires. And I sculpted on top of those. To make these little tendrils here, which is breaking off right now, I rolled the clay very, very thin into like a strip. Then I folded it over on itself and then put it on. So those are actually like, it makes it look more textured. It makes it look more like organic. So, and these bigger pieces are just one piece. There's the spider. I was kind of unsatisfied with this when I was done. I was because I wanted to put more texturing onto the surface. I wanted to make this more like scaled, like make it look like it has scales. As you see, I kind of put a little bit right there on the tip of his on the tip of that spike, but the way that it was working, I was just having too much difficulty trying to texture it. And I don't know if there's I heard that there's a more rubbery type of sculpt to use. I should have used that. I'll figure it out later. So this stays on his back really well. It fits really snug. In order to make it fit, I'm going to try to keep this video close to 10 minutes. To make it fit perfectly like that, it required a lot of dremeling. You see inside here, I did a lot of dremeling. The original sculpt, when I started, I put saran wrap all over his body, and then I put like Vaseline all over the saran wrap so the sculpt wouldn't stick to it, and then I just pushed it down to get to the basic shape of his back. And later I still had to Dremel it out because it ended up moving too much. Oh, there goes that piece. Here we go. Look, I'll show you. Since it's breaking, I go ahead. Oops. Hey, if I goof up, it stays in, right? Well, I'm not kidding. Look, this just broke off right now as I'm reviewing it. What a shame. I'll probably just paint this and leave it like that. The other side already broke off, and I painted it like that. Okay, whatever. Let me show you what this guy looks like with the other head. Oh, this is the Marvel Select Venom head, and it originally did not have, it didn't have gums. I painted the gums on it. It didn't have any red there, and the teeth were really faded. I made them nice and shiny, repainted those. The details around the top of the head, like the original appearance of Venom when he met Spider-Man, he had like that more look on the top of his eyes, the McFarlane style. Let's go ahead and see what he looks like with that. Oh, that's the reason why I sculpted this peg this shape, because it was the shape of the Marvel Select. There. And there's your classic McFarlane Venom. Okay, we're going to do some quick size comparisons. I'll stand them up straight, all the way. And I think I didn't show him yet with that accessory. Well, let's show the comparisons real quick first. All right, here's Pizza Spidey. That's how he stands. Next to him, pretty good size comparison. I think that's a pretty good size right there. Here's the, jeez, I can't think of the name of this guy right now. The doppelganger. Here we go. I love the doppelganger. I don't understand why it got so much hate, but I really like symbiotes, and this guy really reminds me of a symbiote with his design and style. I don't know why people are complaining, oh, it's the same body as the Six-Armed Spider-Man. Well, Six-Armed Spider-Man sucks. I never bought him. Why'd you buy Six-Armed Spider-Man in the first place? That's what I think. I keep my collection small. I don't buy figures just because they come out. And here's Scream from the Separation Anxiety comic. One of my kids turned around her arm. Hold on. There we go. Next to Scream. Next to Carnage. Next to the Marvel Select Anti-Venom. Oh, you see that? Anti-Venom stands a little bit taller. Well, maybe a lot taller. Maybe like 1 inch, three-quarters of an inch taller. Is he still crouching? There. Ah. Okay, he stands a little bit taller because he was crouching a little bit. There we go. Well, that's about the same height. Oop. Doing size comparisons, didn't even finish extending him. Okay. So there's Pizza Spidey when he's fully extended. Yeah, it's a little bit better. And, yeah, that's all I have to show for now. Here's how he looks with that web accessory. There we go. So, there you go, guys. It's my classic Eddie Brock Venom. Thanks for watching the review. Have a good day.